Hi, Devin with MaxMobility here. Today, we're going to talk about the brand new MX2 Plus. But first, and more importantly than just talking about it as a product, I want to talk about it as an approach to solving a problem. So, what is that problem? Today, as we sit, nearly 3 out of 4 manual chair users have some degree of upper extremity pain and/or fatigue from pushing that significantly limits their independence in mobility and mobility-related ADLs. So, simply put, manual chair users have pain. It keeps them from going where they want to go. It keeps them from doing what they want to do. It limits their independence in mobility. It limits their productivity. So how did we arrive at this problem? Since manual wheelchair mobility has been in our lives, we've operated under the philosophy of use it or lose it. So if I'm not out being active and pushing my chair, I'm not getting my exercise. And if I'm not getting my exercise, I therefore won't have the health benefits and longevity that come from that. But as professionals, we know that the shoulders were not made for pushing. Not only that, from a repetitive stress injury standpoint, the average wheelchair user pushes 2,000 to 3,000 times a day. But to be fair, if I'm a manual chair user and I'm starting to develop overuse syndrome, prior to SmartDrive being on the market, what options did I have? On the one end of the spectrum, we've got full power, but we all know full power is a last resort for someone who wants to maintain their independence in a manual chair. And then at the other end of the spectrum, we have power assist. But even as amazing of a technology that it was, due to the weight, it was formidable for anyone to transfer them in and out of a vehicle. So if I want to be independent in my community, what am I going to do? I'm going to hope that my chair is dialed in as well as possible and as light as possible, and I'm going to just push, and I'm going to keep pushing until I can't push anymore. So what we have is a mobility gap between full power and the power assist that's already on the market. And so knowing this, Mark Richter, the president of MaxMobility, wanted to find ways to solve the overuse syndrome problem. And it didn't start with SmartDrive. Actually, it started with research in wheelchair propulsion and dynamics in looking to find efficiencies for the manual chair pusher. So Mark had a full biomechanics lab studying optimal wheelchair setup, searching for a shock-absorbing ergonomic push rim. And through all of his research, ultimately, he found that he could get anywhere from 15 to 30% improvement in efficiency. However, one day, one of his grant reviewers asked him, is 30% improvement in efficiency clinically relevant? So going home, thinking about this, being defeated, Mark thinks to himself, wow, right, simple math, 30% improvement in efficiency really only means pain-free shoulders over 13 years instead of 10. And we need 10, 20, 40, actually the lifetime of the user, depending on what their age is and when they're introduced into manual wheelchair mobility. Realizing that it has to be power and walking the problem back to a product, we realize that it has to reach a certain set of criteria. It's got to be small, compact, lightweight, very easily taken on and off for vehicle transfers. It needs to be weather sealed such that I can be out in the elements, I can get caught in the rain, go through puddles. It needs to have battery chemistry such that I can get a full day's use on a single charge. To that end, it's 12.5 pounds. It's rated on a track at a 350-pound weight capacity for 12 miles. The battery chemistry is a next-generation lithium-ion phosphate. That's a 7 to 10-year battery. It has minimal memory and conditioning, so you can top it off every night like you would your cell phone, or conversely, it can be completely discharged, pull it out of a closet 3 weeks later, and charge it back up. When I add SmartDrive to my manual chair setup, it doesn't have to be full-time. It's like a tool in my toolbox. I use it when I want to, but I don't have to use it when I don't want to. So let's say I'm out at a restaurant at a table with my friends having dinner, and I finished my drink and it's a busy night, the server hasn't been back in 20 minutes and I'd really like to get another drink. Now let's say there's maybe a bar 20, 30, 50 feet away. I don't necessarily need my SmartDrive to kick on to go from the table to the bar. Maybe I just push myself to the bar, order a drink, but now that I've got my drink, how do I get back to the table with it? Am I going to put it between my legs? Am I going to try and hand pass it back and forth and alternate between rims? Well, with SmartDrive, all I need to do is double tap to engage SmartDrive. It will slowly ramp to the speed that I want. I will tap again to lock it at that speed and coast all the way back to the table, double tap again to disengage the motor, and brake with my hand. SmartDrive is very well funded. The Medicare code is E0986, and the justification is very broad. It's not diagnosis-based, it's condition, and that essentially is upper extremity pain and or fatigue from pushing, such that it limits their ability to be independent in their manual chair. What that means is I'm in a manual chair, something is limiting my ability to be independent in my manual chair, such that I could go power, but I'm not willing to go power. The new MX2 Plus, now with Push Tracker, gives you the ability to fine-tune SmartDrive and customize it for your needs. It comes with 3 modes of operation, but with MX2 Plus, we're introducing a new double tap to start, which allows you to start from a dead stop or activate SmartDrive in mid-roll. Not only that, but you can go any speed of what you push. Let's say you're going 2 miles an hour and you want to pick up the pace. Push the chair faster, single tap to lock it in. Now your coast speed is right where you want it to be. So with MX2 Plus, it's a double tap to start. It will ramp up in speed, single tap to lock in your speed, and then when you're ready to stop, double tap and then brake with your hands. This allows you to engage SmartDrive from a dead stop. Then, when you reach the speed you want to maintain, single tap. And when you're ready to stop, double tap again and brake with your hands. You can also initiate SmartDrive while coasting. Then, when you're ready to stop, double tap and brake with your hands. While coasting, if you want to increase speed, simply push yourself at the speed you want to go and single tap to lock. MX2 mode is push to go. Steer with your hands. Single tap to disengage SmartDrive and brake with your hands. MX1 mode is push to go. Steer with your hands and either single tap or brake with your hands to stop. Okay, so I want you to push the button on the left to turn it on. And you felt that buzz, right? So you're on. And then, as we talked about, when you want to engage the motor, you have to give it a double tap. You're going to give it a single tap to lock in the speed you want, and then you'll double tap again when you want to disengage. So let's practice just doing a tap. So okay. Go ahead and clap my hand. See how it turned red there?
Yes.
Do it again. That's good, but it's a little more than you need to. So it's actually pretty gentle. Oh. And you're just going to do it on the rim here. Yep. See how that turns red? Show me a double tap. Single tap to lock. Have them steer and veer. Walking backwards in front of the client is important because it allows you to give them not only verbal but visual cues. When you're ready to have them stop, perform a double tap and then brake with their hands. It's important for you to stop walking and reinforce them grabbing the wheels to stop. Here Chelsea shows us how to engage SmartDrive from a roll. Have them push to go, double tap to engage SmartDrive, single tap to lock in the desired speed, have them steer and veer. To go faster, have them give it a faster push and single tap to lock in that faster speed. Then double tap to stop and brake with the hands. Next, we teach them how to stop quickly. Walking in front of them, they do a quick double tap and brake with their hands to stop.
Well, thank you, Chelsea, Steph. On behalf of MaxMobility and SmartDrive, thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media and see what we're up to.
Bye!